Hi everybody, I'm Alpha from the World Times, and today we're going to be reviewing X-Men Days of Future Past. So, we know that this review might be a bit out of date, but we really liked the movie when we saw it, so we want to review this movie for you guys, so you're loving it like we did. So, X-Men Days of Future Past is the newest X-Men movie in the X-Men franchise, and it combines the old cast with the new cast. So, it's kind of like if you saw the last film, X-Men Day First Class, you'll get what we're talking about. If you haven't, watch that one first. All right. So here's how we're gonna do it. Uh, it's basically we're gonna start by talking about what the story is about without giving any spoilers to you guys. The characters, who's great, who's not. Then we're gonna talk about what's good in the movie, what's bad, and our final thoughts. So let's get started. X-Men Days of Future Past is about trying to correct a mistake. That's the basic idea of the show. It's kind of like one of those cliche sci-fi XDOS machines, kind of, but it may be cliche, but if done correctly, it can actually work, and in this movie it does work. So let's get an idea of what I'm talking about. So it's all, as I said earlier, it's all about trying to correct a past mistake and making sure someone believes again. I'll explain about that a little later. That's what the basic premise is about. And not to reveal too much plot, but uh, it involves Mystique trying to assassinate a scientist who was working on something called the Sentinel program. Basically, if you've seen X-Men, it's those giant robots that kill mutants, and it's about the future trying to correct the mistakes of the past. So the TV show, the movie is actually set in the 1970s, and it's really cool because Wolverine goes back in time to stop Mystique, and he needs to convince young Xavier, who in this movie is a total douchebag. He's kind of lost hope. He's not really Xavier. He's basically an asshole at this point, and get him to believe again and get him to work again. So basically, Xavier teams up with Magneto and a few others to try and fix the problem, and that's the basic idea. I'm not gonna give more stuff to you guys. And one cool thing about this is that we get to see Xavier and and young Xavier and old Xavier meet up, and that was really cool. You would really have goosebumps in this scene. So we'll be talking about characters now. Oh, so at the heart of any story is good characters, really good characters. Because without characters, why would you want to watch? Why would you want care about a story? And in this story, there are plenty of good characters. Let's start off with Wolverine. Wolverine is kind of the same. He's this awesome guy, and he's still conflicted about his past. And he actually, in this movie, like if you've seen the franchise, you actually find out what happened to him before he lost his memory. That's really cool. Wolverine has to really become Xavier, like the personality of Xavier, and lead the group in the past. Because, like I said, Xavier is a douche and he's got lots of issues. If you get what I mean. Now, Xavier. Let's talk about young Xavier. Young Xavier is this douche. Now, the actor who plays him is really good. I don't know his name, but it's really great. The performance is fantastic, and he's really conflicted. He wants to help. It's kind of like he has to make a choice. Does he want to keep working or does he want to keep his powers? So that's really great. And now we also have another character. He's basically going to become future Quicksilver. This guy was a great actor, and the character was even fantastic. He was funny, he was smart, he was I don't know, let's just say cool. And they didn't have him across the movie, but the scenes that he was in, he really stuck out. Like you can say, hey, this guy should be in the movie a lot more than he is now. Alright, moving on. We got Magneto. Old Magneto, so in the movie, in the future, old Magneto and old Xavier are together. They're, well, not necessarily best buds, but they're working together to fix the mistake of the past. And in the future, they're, no, sorry, in the past, they're actually they couldn't be farther away than ever. In fact, that's a quote from the movie. Old Magneto, young Magneto is really great. Like, he's a conflicted character. You can see that he wants to do good, and it's really great. Basically speaking, like, if you look at it on a historical perspective, actually X-Men is a lot like with what's going on, like with the civil rights movement between Martin Luther King and um, um, Malcolm X. It's like Malcolm Luther King's a lot like Xavier. He doesn't want violence. He believes in a diplomatic solution as well. Malcolm X believed in armed struggle, and that's basically the same. So it's really great, and Michael Fassbender really portrays young Magneto well. Now, let's go to Mystique. Mystique is doesn't really appear in the future movie because she's killed or whatever. Sorry, in the future, I mean. But in the past, she's played by Jennifer Lawrence, and the actor actually plays the role well. It's great. You'll enjoy her, and you kind of like get what Mystique's going through. Like, she's kind of conflicted. She still can be saved, kinda. She wants to do the good thing. She doesn't want to do the good thing. She's basically a conflicted character, a conflicted person. And the final character that I'm going to talk about is Tusk. Who's Tusk? Tusk is basically the evil scientist, as it were, who he's kind of the main villain in the story, but you don't like what really makes him a great villain is because he doesn't hate mutant, and in fact he even admires mutant. He doesn't want to do this, but he wants to save the human race. He kind of compares humans to Neanderthals, kind of like that. So it's really great, and you'll love him. Did I mention he's played by the guy who played Tyrant in Game of Thrones? Yeah, that guy's a great actor. Sure, he's like not being racist or anything like that. Sure, he's a bit. The actor is small, but he's fantastic. He portrays the role really well, and you'll love it. That's basically the characters. So let's talk about the good in the story. What did I like? I like not even 100% of it. This is the first story that I'm gonna say I like 100% of it. It's a really great story. The characters are awesome. There's a lot of realism. There's a lot of hanging in the balance, and you actually feel that the characters are in danger and that the world ends. It's done in a great way that everything is combined together. Like, for example, if anyone else had done this, they wouldn't have succeeded, but it's done in a such great way that the audience knows what is going on, that the audience actually believes what's going on, and that's what's great. Now, another thing that I like about the story is that the characters are great, and I mentioned that earlier. You have to watch this to really go what I mean. And number 3, what I really liked is the visual effects. It had great visual effects. It wasn't a CGI crap fest or anything like that. Everything was done in a natural way, and it was really great. So that's what I liked about the movie. What didn't I like about this movie? Well, this is really just going to be the first time when I say there wasn't a single thing that I didn't like about it. Everything came along together. It was a great movie, and you'll be hooked. In fact, the only thing that I didn't like about it, and this is not actually a complaint, is that it should have been I want more, and we're gonna get a lot more, not more in 2017, 2016 thing. I know, it's sad, right? Okay, well, that's what I liked and what I didn't like. So our final thoughts is check out X-Men: Days of Future Past. It's a great movie. You'll have a great time, even if you're not a sci-fi fan. It's just something great. It's awesome. So check it out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you another time for another movie review from the World Times. Goodbye and farewell.